Was babysitting my teenage sister when she started losing blood clots and demanded we visit the ER for her period. I, 19 male, am babysitting my little sister, 15F, while our parents are on a trip internationally. It's like a completely different time zone and the signal sucks. They get home in like 6 days. But we are both pretty self-sufficient and felt like it would be fine, and my parents left us food and money and stuff. We've been Gucci for a whole week so far. Anyway, this morning she got her period while we were just like sitting playing video games, and she got blood all over the couch, so I paused the game while she took care of it and put on a Tampad and didn't make a big deal of it. I was trying to be nice because I know it can make girls cranky and it hurts and stuff, so I got snacks and a blanket and whatever, and we kept playing. Well, like maybe 40 minutes later she freaked out because she bled on the couch again, and I'm like, did you put the thing on wrong or what? So she changed again, and I even helped her clean the blood off the couch this time, and I figured she'd use a bigger feminine thing. NBD. Well, like 30 minutes after we start playing again, she pauses and goes to the bathroom, and I hear her scream, so I run over there thinking there's a spider or something, but she came out holding like this chunk. It was like a chunk of blood. But looking at it I'm like, shit, maybe that's an organ? Like, is that your kidney? But she was like, no, it's a clot. And she was freaking out about it. Which, yeah, it was gross. It was like the size of a hacky sack. So I'm like, okay, well, go flush your clot. Anyway, she cleans herself up, but then she said she doesn't want to play anymore, and I'm like, okay. So she spent an hour on the couch with her face all scrunched up doing yoga breathing and telling me her cramps were the worst ever, so I gave her Tylenol, but she wouldn't take it because she said she feels like she's gonna throw up. I brought her water and juice and warmed up that gel thing you stick on your stomach, you know? So I was trying to help. Well, then she says oh no, and she gets up and goes to the bathroom, and as she's walking she's got like blood going down her leg. She yelled for me from the bathroom, and I go in there and she's sitting there, and I hear this plopping sound, and there's more of those chunks. Like maybe 2 of them? And she says, I think we need to go to the ER. I'm like, why? And she tells me this is more blood than she's ever had and she doesn't feel good. But periods are supposed to suck, right? And she wouldn't take the Tylenol either, so she didn't really try to manage it at home. So then she started yelling at me, telling me I have to take her because she can't drive, but I'm pretty sure our parents will kill me if I take her to the ER for her period. Is that a thing? She's sitting in the shower now because she said she thought the warm water would feel good and she was sick of bleeding on stuff and it's more comfortable than the toilet. I asked her if she just needs a bigger Tampad and she told me to STFU, so she's not even communicating with me at this point. I've asked her a few times if she's okay in there and she tells me I'm bleeding out. Mason, what do you think? So like she's not unconscious. I don't know anything about this, but I also know she hates blood and flips out about any minor cut too. Is going to the ER because of a period a thing? Can you bleed too much? I thought there was only a certain amount of blood in the vagina every month. I feel like she'd be more comfortable at home anyway if she'd just take the Tylenol. What to do? My sister is like average teenage girl height, pretty skinny because she's a ballerina and doesn't eat meat. She takes Accutane for her pimples. I'm not sure if there's other stuff that's important. She's had her period for like a year now, I'm pretty sure. Maybe more. She takes Flintstone gummy vitamins sometimes, like the ones in the purple jar. And she's obsessed wth Celsius energy drinks. She wears contacts and she had her wisdom teeth removed 2 months ago. Update 1. Okay, she's throwing some extra clothes and shit in a bag. I'm trying to think what my mom would do, so I brought water bottles, sunscreen, and snacks. And something to do. Commenter, well, you don't need sunscreen at the hospital. Extra clothes. Maybe a water bottle. Snacks are good. Insurance card. And call your parents. Didn't they leave another adult's number for you to call in an emergency? Do you have another relative? Oop, oh shit, yeah, I gotta tell my parents. Fuck. I mean, no they didn't, but I think it's because I'm the adult? Oop, all our relatives live on the other side of the country. But like she has friends and they have moms? But she wasn't into the idea of asking them. Commenter, let this be a lesson to you: if a woman says this is wrong, this doesn't seem normal, about her own body, try listening to her and not making her jump through hoops convincing you something is wrong while you ask the internet for advice. Just listen to her. Oop, yeah, I was being a dick, yeah lol, I didn't think about the fact that it's inside, just like my mom always yelling about sunscreen. Okay, this makes me feel good because I packed her Squishmallow and I was kind of afraid to tell her I did that in case she thought it was embarrassing or some. I sent my mom a text, in response to someone telling him to bring a bowl in case she vomits / nah fr I wish I would have read this. BC, she threw up in the car twice. She told me to stop driving like Stevie Wonder and I swear I was laughing so hard I almost had to pull over. Commenter, it sounds like she is really comfortable with you. I mean, she let you help her clean up and showed you clots. And you didn't get all ew, I'm a guy, don't show me. Frankly, you were acting better than my husband would when it comes to helping. He'd never look at my blood or think to bring snacks. So you are doing pretty good, and she might not feel she needs another female. Oop, I mean, if I acted grossed out she'd tell me to grow TF up lol. My sister doesn't deal with stupid dudes. But yeah, we're close and it's just blood, so okay, we got here. She threw up a couple times in the car but she said she's good now. We walked in and she was like dripping down her leg again and they saw that at the desk and maybe how fucking freaked I looked lol and took her back pretty much right away. Commenter, adding to this, because questions about her sexual history and habits are definitely going to be asked. Big bro, make it clear to her that if she wants you to leave, you will. If she wants you to stay, I would make it clear to her that you're not going to snitch on her about anything she says. If it's something that needs to be brought up to your parents, the docs can do that. It's not your job to tell your parents her answers. If you can't make her that promise, tell her you can't be in the room. Oop, nah, I'm not saying shit if I find anything out. She caught me smoking weed on the roof 2 years ago and still hasn't ratted lol. Okay, so she's getting Zofran and fluids and they're gonna do an ultrasound in the room here. So far we know she's not pregnant, and her labs, some of them weren't great. Hemoglobin was 6.8, editor's note that's not good, normal for women is 12 to 16, see here that's basically the one I remember. She said to tell everyone thank you for the advice and stuff. She also said to say she feels okay, just really tired. Commenter, the tube sounds like a catheter. They may want a clean urine sample. The excessive bleeding can contaminate a urine sample and affect certain test results. Oop, oh yeah, okay. They said they wanted a urine sample, but I was thinking, why can't she just pee in a cup? Alright, the ultrasound was normal. She's being admitted. They want to test her for bleeding and clotting disorders now, and they're going to give her some blood. They asked if I know my blood type, which I don't, but I'm not sure why it matters. Sister is B+ though. Commenter 1, I mean, tampad's a good way of saying tampon or pad. Commenter 2, I agree, this is a useful neologism, op. Thanks. Oop, see, I'm not a dumbass, I'm just inventing new terms. Commenter, you have properly unmouthed your foot, so don't be afraid to ask questions now. It's much better to ask questions so you don't have to worry or freak out about things you don't know or don't understand, than to drive yourself mad with worry about something that might not warrant that worry or leaves you with unanswered questions. Best of luck to you and your sis. Was she happy you packed her squishmallow? Oop, yeah, she's sleeping on the squishmallow like a pillow RN and told me it's the only reason she forgives me lol. That's a good idea though. When she wakes up I'll ask her. Commenter, if she gets admitted, you may want to consider making a trip home to pick up any comfort items either of you two need, like a book, laptop, or blanket. But only if your sister feels comfortable with that. Oop, so she packed clothes and I packed her squishmallow and our switches, so we would have stuff to do. But she didn't even want me to get up to go pee, so I don't think she wants me to leave lol. She's asleep now though. Commenter, definitely not the worst way to have to spend time in a hospital lol. Hope she turns out okay. Though I'm extremely curious about what the root cause is, and if you both feel comfortable sharing I'd love to know. Oop, yeah, she said she doesn't care as long as I don't post any pics of her because she said she looks like 2024 Amanda Bynes and Britney Spears combined lol. Commenter, for future reference, you can call your doctor's office, or an advice nurse, with stuff like this. They will ask you a bunch of questions about what's going on and tell you what to do. Oop, yeah, I was googling do you go to the ER for a bad period, and that's how I found the subreddit, lol. But if something ever happens again that's probably a better bet. We both slept. Got a hold of our parents, my mom is looking for flights back home. Sister is feeling a lot better at this point. They gave her medicine to stop the bleeding. I wasn't expecting this to blow up the way it did, so there's no way I'll be able to answer everyone. She's doing okay though. Should know more about the CT soon. Commenter, mate, I grew up with a shitty big brother and even now as adults I know he couldn't do half the job you've done of taking care of your little sis. You have restored my faith in humanity, and big brothers. Glad to see the night was uneventful and that you got hold of your parents. And whatever you do, don't forget to reapply your sunscreen often. Oop, man, she changed my name in her phone to SPF. I'm never living this shit down lol. Alright, her vitals now are 100, 165 and 80. So better. CT was good too. They're pretty sure she has a blood disorder, they're just waiting on the results of it. I guess when she had her wisdom teeth out she bled more than she was supposed to, but I didn't know that before. So yeah, just waiting on that for now, but they don't think the issue is her uterus or whatever. Update 2. She doesn't want this going around school or whatever, so don't dox us for at least 3 years lol. She's cool with me updating though without her name or whatever. Also our parents don't know about this either. I feel like we should wait until it's been a few years to tell them too so they don't kill me lol. She's gonna hold this shit over my head forever lol. Anyway, they think she has a blood disorder that makes her not clot right. I'm not 100% sure how it works because she had big clots. But they said they're pretty sure that's what's going on because her PTT took longer than normal to clot. They're waiting on von Wildebrand, SP? Testing to come back, but they think she is type 2 probably. Gonna Google that tonight. BCI quit that is, and I've never heard F it, so I guess if any of the doctors know what that is or if this sounds like it LMK. Yeah, wasn't expecting this to blow up like this lol. I thought this was just like doctors answering questions like a helpline. But my sister said, thank you for everyone telling me to take her and she's okay. Update 3. So I guess I also have von Wilbrands. So does our mom. I've always bruised a lot and got super bad nosebleeds, but like I was also a dumbass kid/teen who thought life was an audition for Jackass, so I didn't think it was weird lol. Anyway, we're all about to be real familiar with hematology and my mom is pissed. She's been told some women just bleed more her whole life lol. Guess my mom and sister weren't just exaggerating when they would say they were bleeding out. So yeah, if you're a girl reading this and you bleed as much as my sister, you should see a doctor. Hopefully no one gets gaslit like my mom did, but yeah. Here's a public apology for being ignorant on what y'all actually go through. BC, I thought you could only bleed so much a month. Fully willing to admit how fucking stupid that was. Lol. Hi, so it's me again, 19M, apparently not that smart, questioning my career goals as a teacher. Anyway, my sister was on her period and thought she needed to go to the ER, and she actually did. I've got another question now, but first, thank you to everyone who answered my first post and educated me. BC, she was in rough shape. Except for the girl who suggested drinking whole milk. Even I'm not that fucking stupid. WTF? Anyway, so my sister has von Willebrand's disease, type 2. My mom and I also have it apparently. My mom just got gaslit for years about how much she bled, and it took my sister almost dying for us to all get diagnosed like TF. Anyway, I play on a recreational rugby league. Gonna have to pay dues soon, and I don't want to be out the money if I'm gonna get told I shouldn't play anymore because it's a contact sport, but I don't see a hematologist for 5 weeks since I'm not urgent. Lol. So was wondering if any of the doctors know if I'm gonna get told I probably shouldn't play rugby anymore. I also like rock climbing. Is that gonna be out? Now on to second story. I found out my sister slept with my fiancé, and I'm not sorry about what I did after. I have a sister who's just a year older than me. We've always had such a good relationship, so finding out about this one hurt. She might as well have just stabbed me in my heart. On top of that, I've been with my fiancé since high school, and we've always been with each other through thick and thin. We were going to get married in a few months. I have no idea why on earth they did this to me. What's even worse was that our mom knew, and out of fear of getting involved, my sister apparently begged her not to say a word. She didn't tell me anything. Thankfully, my dad wasn't having it, and he spilled the beans to me. I've never been so angry in my life. Not only did I kick my fiancé out and throw out his stuff, some of it in the trash, but I decided to hurt my sister in another way. Why not do the same for my fiancé? Simple, she's my sister. We've always had a good relationship until she decided to ruin it months before my big day, which I allowed her to be a bridesmaid in. You don't do that to anyone, let alone your sister. Your blood. My sister's big on gardening, so when she lost her dog, she made a garden for him. I knocked on her door, she didn't know that I knew, and of course I played nice. I moved on to what she did with my fiancé, and I slightly damaged her garden. I honestly just crushed a couple flowers. Am I sorry? No. Her excuse sent me over the edge. It just happened isn't a reason. Sleeping with my fiancé just happened like that, I guess. I told her I didn't want her speaking to me anymore, and that I also didn't want our mom to speak to me. My fiancé won't say a word since I threatened to call the police if he ever went near me again. Yay, I made my sister cry and scream at me, but I genuinely feel like I should be the one crying. She knew how important getting married was to me, and now I can't experience that. Pair that with the fact that I had to hear this from my dad, not my bum excuse of a sister or fiancé. Hell, even my own mother didn't say a word to me. It's like she lets my sister run her. Fuck you, Tia. Fuck you, Logan. If they ever see this, I'd be absolutely delighted. Edit. Since many people keep bringing this up, I'm upset that I lost the relationship I've always put 100% into. I was excited to get married, of course, but then this news came out. It really hurt me. I didn't want to believe it at first. I almost thought my dad was pulling my leg. Later turned out to be true. I swear I have trust issues now. Edit. When I say I decided to hurt her, it's because I kinda ruined something so meaningful to her. I feel like for most people, besides on here, that would be a bit far. That's just how I feel though. I understand it's not what you guys wanted. Lol. Clearly worked a bit though, since she thought I was so damn psychotic for that. Like I said, I don't feel sorry about hurting her that way. Forgive my terrible mood. I definitely plan on exposing them sometime today. Update 1. To start off, I did expose her and my ex on my story. I unblocked them both to tag them. Shout out to one of the commenters who wrote down what I should say. I saved it and wrote it, but added some other words of my own. My ex actually blocked me after he saw my story. I sent my Reddit post to my sister after. At the time, she didn't see, but I got a call from my ex's mom. She was furious about everything, but she asked me how I was holding up and if I've heard the news. My heart sank a little because I honestly couldn't bear to hear any more bad news. I asked her what she was talking about. She said, "So you haven't?" I said no and asked her to tell me. My sister's pregnant. Apparently, Logan told her in an attempt to make her chill out on my sister. I didn't want to hear any more, so I told her I needed to hang up the phone. Thankfully, she accepted because I literally burst into tears 2 seconds later. After 5 minutes of crying, my sister responded to my story and text with the Reddit post link. She was texting me in all caps begging me to take it down. If I wasn't so upset, I would have laughed a little, but I just sat there watching her blow up my phone. I got even angrier when she said, "I'm coming over and I'm telling mom that you're spreading my business online. Alright, you big baby." Still never responded though. I felt frozen. 30 minutes later, she's trying to break my door down, so I opened it in a fit of rage and I started screaming all kinds of shit at her. She kept screaming at me to take it down, and I told her that's gonna stay up for as long as I want it to. She kept telling me she didn't deserve online hate, and she even tried telling me that she's always been there for me through everything and that she would have forgiven me if it was the other way around. That's when I punched her. A small part of me felt guilty. I'm not the fighting type, and that was probably evident in my last post, haha. But she retaliated by saying it's not my fault, Logan was tired of you, and that's when I told her that I hope she ends up like her dog and that she deserves every bit of hate she's getting for ruining my relationship. I even apologized for not ruining her entire garden and her stupid face at first. I know I'm wrong for saying this, but the entire time, she was playing the victim. She called me evil and told me to rot in hell. Kept saying I was punishing her over a mistake. I said, you have no idea what you've put me through, and I know you would have done the same thing if you were the victim. She kept crying and insulting me because all she's ever done was support me through everything, and I had the nerve to punch her in the face and allow strangers to bash her on the internet. I told her she deserved it, and I don't want her talking to me ever again, and if she comes near me, I'm calling the police. She kept saying I was being extremely unfair and that she said she was sorry in her texts, but I wasn't having it. I told her to tell Mom I'm not talking to her again either. She asked me if I was really going to cut her off like that, and I just wished her good luck with her unwanted child and told her to go home. That was the last time she walked off my porch. Anyway, I had to clean up my favorite vase, but it doesn't even matter. At least they're out of my life. However, it's weird how sad I feel now. It's for my own good, but damn, I'll never experience the bond we had again. On the bright side, seems like I've dodged 2 bullets. Thanks again though everyone, maybe I do need therapy. Last edit to say that my dad called not too long ago asking me to take every post down because according to my mother, my bitch sister is bawling her eyes out over mean people on the internet. As if I'm taking anything down. My dad's pissed about her pregnancy, but my mom continues to defend her by saying we need to chill out on her a little bit. This is why I'm not talking to her. Thanks again though, everyone. I'm exhausted and I need to worry about other things. I've officially decided to go LC with my dad today. Surprisingly, he wasn't that upset about it. However, he's still on team take down the posts, and that's why I made my decision. My mom wants nothing to do with me because if I wasn't going to respect the family, there's no point in trying to get to you. Wow, it's almost like that's what I wanted. My cousin and my ex's sister have been supporting me. Apparently, my sister has had meltdown after meltdown because more people are slowly finding out about the affair, not only in person but on the internet. She actually got into it with my cousin online, and according to my cousin, my sister keeps asking her to tell me to take down the posts because she's sorry and she felt read into doing what she did. Last I even heard about my ex was from his sister. She told me that they did speak, and although he's not ready for a child, he doesn't feel comfortable leaving my pregnant sister on her own. He also wants me to stop what I'm doing, but oh well, they're made for each other. Anyway, I've surprisingly been feeling a bit better thanks to my cousin and my new sister, as I like to call my ex's sister now, haha. I've actually gotten some good sleep. Still considering therapy too. A very tiny part of me feels pretty bad for exposing my sister and ex, and I'll always miss the relationship I've had with them, even despite my last encounter with my sister, but they've hurt me and it's what they deserve. If they're not taking it well, that's their problem.